From the simplest sponge on the ocean floor all the way up to the eagle soaring in the sky. Have you ever just stopped and wondered how it's all connected? Well, today we're going to try and crack that code. We're diving into the animal kingdom, which is basically a story with over 1 million characters, so let's get right into it. Okay, just let this number sink in for a second. Over 1 million. That's how many animal species scientists have actually managed to name and describe so far. And get this. That number, it's going up literally every single day. The sheer diversity is it's mind-boggling. It's like this beautiful, chaotic puzzle. So how in the world do you even start to bring order to that chaos, right? How do scientists look at a butterfly and a crab and figure out that, yeah, they're actually related, even in some distant way? It's definitely not random. They've got this brilliant method, almost like a biological blueprint for sorting the whole thing out. All right, so here's our game plan for today. We'll start with the million species problem. Then we'll look at the animal body plan. That's the toolkit they use. We'll be mapping the animal kingdom, taking a tour of the phyla, checking out the rise of vertebrates, and finally, we'll figure out where do we fit in all this. So yeah, we're talking about a million species problem. When you have a cast of characters that's over 1 million strong, a classification system isn't just, a nice little thing to have. It's absolutely essential. It's the language we need to even begin to read the story of life on this planet. Which brings us to the animal body plan. See, to tackle a problem this big, scientists can't just look at what's on the surface. They have a special toolkit, a kind of checklist of really fundamental features that helps them group animals based on how they're built, their basic body plan. So first up in that toolkit, it's all about complexity, the building blocks. And honestly, it's a lot like building with Legos. You start at the cellular level with something simple, like sponges. They're basically just loose clumps of cells. Then you move up to the tissue level, where cells group together, like in jellyfish. From there, you get the organ level, and finally, the organ system level, where organs team up to do complex jobs. Just this one tool helps scientists make the first big cuts, sorting everyone into some initial groups. Okay, next tool, symmetry. This is a big one. On one side, you've got radial symmetry. The classic example is a sea anemone. You could slice it like a pizza through the middle from any angle, and you get identical halves. Pretty cool, right? But then you have what most animals, including us, have, bilateral symmetry, like this butterfly. There's only one way to slice it right down the middle to get a perfect mirror image, a left half and a right half. All right, now stick with me, because these next two are absolute game changers. First, there's the body cavity, or coelom. It's basically the internal space between the body wall and the gut. Do you have one? Is it a true one or a false one? It's a huge clue about an animal's design. But the second one, this is the big one, the notochord. Just think of it as a flexible rod running down the back. Whether an animal has this or not, well, that creates the single biggest fork in the road for the entire animal kingdom. You're either a chordate or a non-chordate. Okay, so now we have our toolkit, right? Levels of organization, symmetry, body cavity, and that all-important notochord. Now that we have the tools, we can finally look at the map biologists have created. And here it is. This chart is our map. Let's trace it real quick. See over on the left, everything starts in one big group, Animalia. Then, boom, the first split is based on that level of organization we just talked about. As you move to the right, it branches again based on symmetry, then again based on the body cavity. If you just follow the lines, you can see how those few simple rules create this incredible, logical tree of life, which branches out into all the major groups, or what scientists call phyla. So we've got our map. What do you say we take a quick tour? Think of it like a highlight reel. We're going to visit a few of the most important countries on this map, the major phyla, and see how all these rules play out with real animals. Our first stop is phylum Porifera. We're talking about the humble sponges. These guys are basically the living ancestors of the whole animal kingdom. They're still operating at that super simple cellular level. They're like these amazing living water filters, true masters of simplicity. All right, next up, we've got phylum Cnidaria, better known as the stingers. We're talking jellyfish, corals, anemones. And what unites all of them? Well, they all have this insane microscopic superpower, these tiny, explosive, harpoon-like stinging cells. That's their signature move, for both defense and for grabbing dinner. Okay, now, get ready to meet the undisputed rulers of the planet, phylum Arthropoda. We're talking insects, spiders, crabs, you name it. This group is so unbelievably successful that they make up more than 2/3 of all named species on Earth. So what's their secret? It's that built-in suit of armor, their exoskeleton, and those super versatile jointed legs. Our last big stop on this side of the family tree is phylum Echinodermata, the spiny-skinned crew, like this starfish. Now, their defining feature is something totally unique, a water vascular system. It's this wild network of hydraulic canals that they use to move, to eat, and even to breathe. Seriously, there is nothing else like it in the entire animal kingdom. Okay, so everything we've looked at so far, it's all been on one side of that massive evolutionary divide we talked about. Now, it's time to cross over to the other side. We're heading into the phylum that includes, well, us. Welcome to phylum Chordata. And this table just lays it all out crystal clear. The key features of our group, the chordates, are all right there. Just look at the central nervous system. For us, it's dorsal, meaning along our back, and hollow. For non-chordates, it's ventral, along their front, and solid. Our whole body plan is basically a mirror image of theirs, and it all goes back to that one feature, the notochord. Now, this is a really important idea to get your head around. All vertebrates are chordates, but not all chordates are vertebrates. So what does that mean? Well, think of chordates as this big, exclusive club. The only rule for entry is having that notochord at some point in your life. Now, within that club, there's a VIP section, and that's the vertebrates. We're the ones who took that basic notochord and upgraded it to a full bony backbone. So everyone in the VIP section is in the club, but not everyone in the club gets into the VIP section. All right, so after that whirlwind tour of the entire animal kingdom, let's bring it all back home. It's time to pinpoint our own address on this incredible map of life. So first things first, our phylum. Well, we have a backbone, which is that VIP upgrade of the notochord. So that puts us squarely in phylum Chordata. Easy enough. And if we zoom in just one level deeper, we find our class, Mammalia. What makes a mammal a mammal? Well, it boils down to a few key things. We have mammary glands to produce milk, we have hair on our bodies, and we have a super efficient 4-chambered heart. So yeah, from the tiniest bat to the biggest blue whale, and all the way to us, this is our immediate family. This is where we fit in. So after mapping this whole incredible kingdom of life, we're left with this one big question, right? After tracing this immense, sprawling family tree and finally finding our own tiny little branch, what does it really mean to be just one species among millions? It's a pretty humbling thought, isn't it?